Hey y'all, it is May the 5th, 2026. Damn near the middle of the year. Y'all, I wanted to bring it up, even though I've talked about it before, and just talk about it real briefly here with y'all again because, sometimes I'll find out things, and there's plenty of things that I don't know and I'm completely unaware of. But sometimes I'll find out things and I'll become aware of things and I'll just become abundantly aware of certain stuff to the point, and I imagine a lot of y'all do that out there too, to the point where I feel like everybody knows what I already plainly know. Like everybody should know if I happen to know it, and it's as abundantly clear as I've seen it to be, then I assume everybody knows about a certain topic, but that's just not the case typically. And so I wanted to bring it up one more time pretty clearly, and I'm sure we're going to talk about it more as developments go on. But one of the original people to talk about it and bring it to my attention is a Michael Yan, and Yan is spelled Y-O-N, and you can find him, I think, on Twitter, or I don't know where you can find him and stuff. A lot of times I'll see him on InfoWars. But I want to bring up that, there's the Iran war, and a lot of people don't even have any clue, right? And then there's a lot of people who do have a clue that the Iran war is going on. Whether or not they call it a war really don't matter. And they might be concerned. They might be jerked back and forth. And you can tell the jerking of back and forth pause is taking place because of the different things that the stock market does and consumer sentiment and stuff like that. Right? People, they're like on an emotional roller coaster. And therefore, certain stocks will go up and down. And sure as hell, every time they go up or down, there's certain people making mad money off of it. Right? That is how our system works. But what I want to point out, because the most reasonable scenario that's taking place right now, to me, in my perspective, is the one from Michael Yan, and he's much more expert on it and articulate about it. I'm sure he could talk about it for years in great detail about what I'm understanding very simply right now, and that is that there is no chance for peace. That doesn't mean that we don't all want peace, or that the great majority of us don't want peace, or at least to mind our own fucking business. All right, of course we do. Most of us who understand what's going on, we do want to mind our own fucking business. But there is absolutely no chance for that. It's not going to happen at all. It's only going to escalate and escalate and escalate, as you might have noticed. It's going to continue to escalate. Why? Well, it seems to me the debate right now between those in the know is whether or not Donald Trump is getting tricked into all sort of stuff. Like, for example, I saw Alex Jones, and I don't blame him being hopeful, saying that, it still seems as though Donald Trump is retarded in these certain kind of ways, and he's actually being tricked because he's not very knowledgeable on how stuff like war works, right? And I don't know that he is very knowledgeable on it. But they're like, oh, Donald Trump, he's being tricked, and he's stubborn, and he's bullheaded, and he thinks he can like finagle his way out of this simply because of his own earthly skills or whatever, and he's really trying to find his way out of this, perhaps. But he keeps getting tricked by various folks in and out of Israel, those folks who might call themselves Zionists. And of course, there's a lot of poor people, and there's a lot of people of the people who consider themselves Zionists. I'm talking about the major hitters of Zionism, the big dogs of Zionism. Alex Jones is still holding out hope that maybe Donald Trump is being tricked by those fellas, or women, or fellas, into an ever-escalating war that will potentially destroy America. Now, I'm of the opinion, and just from what I've seen, not solely because Michael Yon said it, but I'm of the opinion that this is all WWE wrestling and it's orchestrated from behind the scenes. And Donald Trump, whether or not he's a big player in it, he's simply an actor in this, and he's meant to play a role. He's like a cog in a machine bringing us ever closer to destruction, right? So people might hold out hope for peace talks and stuff like that, but however, that's not even a possibility. The whole design, and it doesn't matter Donald Trump or whoever else would have been in the presidency, for all those retards who think, oh, if only Donald Trump wasn't in there, we wouldn't be in this situation. This is well above his pay grade, right? He's not that important, kind of find out. But it's going to continue to escalate, and the reason is there's a bigger plan. All right. What it is kind of like bamboozling and tricking us into ever dire of a situation, ever more dire. I was thinking of an analogy the other night. So, like, imagine, if you will, and like people have had older brothers and older siblings, right? Imagine this: you're a little kid and you really can't control physically what's going on around you. You got an older brother or something like that. He grabs your hand. He uses your hand to slap yourself in the face. I think a lot of people see this is how you can understand it. He says, "Hey," and he slaps you in the face with your own hand. He says, "Why are you hitting yourself? Why are you hitting yourself?" He seems very concerned, but he's the one slapping you in the face with your hand. Why are you hitting yourself? Why you what? And then he keeps doing it, but you can't stop him. He's bigger and stronger. Now imagine an analogy where it starts off like that, but it ever increases, and then after a while, he just takes his own hand and slaps you in the face. And he says, "Why are you getting in the way of my hand? Why are you?" And he's doing it on purpose. "Why are you getting in the way of my hand?" And keeps slapping you in the face, and there's nothing you could do about it. Now imagine it escalates and escalates further. Now he starts closed fist with 75% power, punching you in the face. And at this point, you're crying, you're hysterical, you're trying to get away, but you can't get away. He's punching you in the face. Why you keep getting in the way of my fist? Why are you doing that? And then it even increases and increases to the point where 100% power, he's like punching you. You're doing whatever you can to guard your face. He's punching you in the face and asking the whole time, "Why are you getting in the way of me punching you in the face?" So if you're very gullible or something like that, or if you wanted to think the best of that situation as a little kid, you would think to yourself, gosh, like, I hope that this de-escalates. I hope that he figures out that punch me in the face is not good for me and I don't enjoy it at all. And meanwhile, no, that's not the case. He's going to, imagine an analogy where he's going to punch you to death. And that's what he's leading up to. And you're going to die because of but it was ever increasing like he didn't just jump into beating you to death. So he's just gonna keep doing that. I'm not saying that that's Donald Trump, but Donald Trump is like a cog in the machine that's doing that, and it means to do it. So the Strait of Hormuz, and if you were to listen to Michael Yon, there's going to be other straits that are very crucial to the global economy, which, in my estimate, we were all tricked into, but we haven't been recently tricked into it. We've been tricked into this global economy system that's it's not fragile, but it could be fragile. And when things are held up in certain parts of the world, you start receiving shortages clear across the world. All right, and it's meanwhile everybody who's low level thinking or holding out hope, they're gonna be like, man, I hope that this lets up. I hope this lets up, and that we could just live our normal lives because that's what I want. We just want to live our normal lives. That is not in the plan. And guess what? You're in a democracy, but you don't decide shit. You don't vote on shit. You're gonna go into whatever meat grinder that they want to put you in. Meanwhile, there's the alpha gal and the ticks and the UFOs, and we're gonna talk about all that sort of stuff in various subsequent videos. That's all happening at the same time. But yeah, this is just inevitably to get us in dire straits. All right, I'm talking about people in America and everywhere else in the world, and it's going to lead to famine. And while that's going to immediately start becoming wildly inconvenient to people here in America, I mean, there's already it's already a growing number of people on the streets who just can't afford to live. That's only going to get worse, and the number of people that applies to is going to just grow, and it's going to continue to grow. And even for people with a good amount of money, even people living upper middle class, they're going to be very soon more than inconvenienced by all that. There's people in third world countries and small countries struggling to make it right now. They're going to just run out of fucking food. So it's not going to start off by, oh, you don't have no more food no more and you're going to just starve. Probably not. It's slowly and incrementally. That's actually going to help the people who's in charge of this takedown, because it's like the boiling water and the frog pot analogy. They want you to get into it slowly. That way they can kill you, but you're like all comfortable with it. So it's going to ever grow. It's not going to start. It starts here by inconveniencing people. There's going to be shortages of stuff. People are going to be able to consume less and less and less as time goes on. They're not going to be able to afford it. Right? But at the very same time, in other places of the world, they're going to plumb run out of food. And for those in the know of history and how it tends to play out, in the places where food is going to be mad short, it's going to be nothing but war. People are going to be killing each other. Those who even have the energy to do it are going to be killing each other for the food of others that they can find in the area. And after a while, there's going to be people running around, getting the hell out of Dodge, coming every which way, running any which way that they think that there might be food, to include America. Even though America might be struggling at that point, it doesn't matter. You're going to start to see all sort of migrants at numbers you ain't never seen before. I mean, it's already been bad. We went through the Joe Biden administration. It's going to be worse than that. People just showing up, popping up, thinking that we might have food. And you're going to have to deal with that. All right? And it's like, I would like to think that there might be another option, an alternative road to go down. Perhaps there would be, but no, we're going down this road, period. All right? And as I've been stating, I want to continue to say, I'm not here to like scare you into a crippling depression. Although if you really think about it seriously, that might, especially if you had children and stuff like that, that might be very worrisome. This situation and it's not that it's going to start soon. It already has started. This whole operation, we're like more than 2 months deep into this war over there in Iran, which is only going to escalate. And then in other countries, it's going to escalate. So I realize that a lot of people would become extremely terrified. It's a terrifying situation. It is absolutely not only going to happen, it is happening. And ain't nobody... Here's the thing, I just want to mention before we get out of here, that Donald Trump, if you haven't noticed, because some people would hold out a hope for Donald Trump, that maybe he might turn it around, and maybe he's being tricked, and he might figure out a way to get us the hell out of this situation. Detach us would certainly, it seems, would have to be the case. Detach us in every single way from Israel. Because they're like crazed. And I'm not saying everybody in Israel, I'm saying those people who control their government are crazed and they're on a rampage and they're not fixing to stop. They know existentially that if they do stop their campaign of terror, the country is so unpopular now that it's only a matter of time before they don't exist anymore, right? So they do want to like exist. They're going to continue on their campaign of terror, right? And what I want to point out is that Donald Trump, a lot of people think that he was pulling for America. It seems more and more as though no, he wasn't. This is all a trick, and he's since day one here to just be a so-called hero. I hope I'm wrong, but the so-called hero that slowly and surely leads us off a cliff. All right, because oh my God, that's Bo over there sneaking around, dude, creeping me out. But that's the thing, Donald Trump, he doesn't have no loyalty. I want to point out what he clearly puts on display is that Donald Trump will claim he likes you and gas you up. He gasses up like thousands of people a year. If you ever seen him in speeches, talk about, oh, this is the best person. This person is the cream of the crop, and these are the people I hang with, and they love America, MAGA, and everything like that, America first. But just as soon as he doesn't like something that you're doing, you're the worst low IQ, demon-possessed piece of garbage that he's ever met, all right? He doesn't have absolutely no loyalty. So when you think about it in a macro sense, oh, he loves the people of America until maybe he doesn't. Maybe you rub him the wrong way, and it doesn't matter to him. All right? Oh, he loves palling around with you until, like, he has a reason to be your bitter enemy and stuff like that. He's pointing out, like, so to think that Donald Trump is just for some reason very foolish, and he's accidentally putting us in ever dire of a situation, it's absolutely not the case. And he doesn't care much for you. He'll take one look at you, unfortunately, see what he doesn't like, and he'll always remember that. And then if he needs you for any kind of reason, support, he'll gas you up like you're the best thing since sliced bread. And if you like do anything that's contrary to his agenda, then what he'll do is throw you under the bus, and you're the worst person in the world. Hey, what up? I don't know, just straight chilling. What you up? Where are you going?
I'm gonna get out of here and take a drug test.
All right, that sounds fun as hell. I hope you pass.
Oh yeah, I'll pass.
All right, so you got like a job lined up, or you getting a job lined up? Oh yeah, yeah. All right.
You still making a video?
Yeah, I was just talking about the end of the world type stuff.
It's coming.
Oh yeah, no, that's what I was just trying to tell people.
You gotta be ready, man.
Well, okay, I'm about to finish up this video, but there really isn't no getting ready. That was kind of like my sentiment. You can get ready, but how are you gonna get ready except spiritually? That's like the only way.
You gotta survive.
Yeah, I mean, survive, but that's up to God. If God wants you to survive.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's all about that.
All right, Jerry.
Yeah, all right. I'll be here. I'll be here if you're hanging out later.
I'll probably be back pretty quick.
All right, I'll be around here. I'll probably be cleaning my car and stuff.
All right, man.
All right. I'll holla. So, to finish off the video, it's just to say people are expecting some sort of glimmer of hope from Donald Trump. You need to stop expecting that, or do what you want. But I'm just saying there's definitely reason to believe that he was a cog in this machine the whole time, a willing participant. He really doesn't think much of you. Like, for example, when you get to that echelon, a lot of times people might smile in your face, but they really look at you as helpless and you're scum and got to get rid of you for whatever kind of reason and stuff. So they might smile in your face and shake your hand, but really, they don't give a damn whether or not, what kind of situation you're in. All they really care about is whether or not they will be able to come out on top, right, of whatever chaos that they're conjuring up. And so famine, that's definite. That's definitely on the menu. There's no, and the thing is, it's already in the works. Like as far as shortages, fertilizer across the globe and stuff like that, it's inevitable. And every single day in which there's not complete peace in the Middle East is just another percentile of proof that we're not getting out of that. And as I was mentioning to my man who just drove by, there's no, The reason I don't want you to get scared about this is because there is nothing you could do about this. Oh, get as much guns and ammunition as you want. That's not a bad thing. It's just to say, it's not gonna completely make you safe to have all that. Get all the food storage and everything that you want. That's not going to make you complete. There's no safe place on the earth. So that's not going to make you completely safe. You do everything you want. Like, there's people out there, and I'm a poor person still. But there's people out there who've done what they can to get money and stuff and get as much money so that they can prepare for just such an occasion. Maybe they got like a panic room. Maybe they got all sorts of guns and ammunition. Maybe they got food storage and this and that. Maybe they're recruiting people in a nearby militia or something. Maybe they're doing all the things. All right. That's still not going to make you 100% safe. Because all that stuff's only even going to put a target on your back, to be honest. The more you have, and the more you're not able to completely control what you have through violence, the more you have a target on your back anyways in this sort of situation. So, as I was implying, my best guess is it has to be like a spiritual thing. The only safety is in God, and His Son is Jesus, and there is no debate about that. And even if you die, that's the thing. We're in a situation where a lot of people are going to die. Some people think millions of people are going to die. Some people think at the end of this here scenario that billions and billions of people are going to die. Even if you die, all right, there's safety. The only safety that you ever know or could ever know is in God, and that's it. It's not in guns. It's not in preparedness. It's not in food. It's not in your whatever money you have in your pocket and stuff. Whatever you're doing to get all that stuff, I hope you get more, and I hope you do really well. And I wish you all the best. And hopefully, you can somehow like get yourself into the safest position as possible. But there is no safe place on earth. That's what I want to just mention, and then get the hell up out of here. And I'll holler at y'all later about fucking UFOs and UAPs and stuff like that. And little goblin creatures are going to pop out pretty soon because the government's going to tell you. Because the government's going to have, they're going to be like, oh, look, we got aliens. We got to fight against them all. Independence Day, Will Smith style and stuff. You got to come together for the government and stuff like that. Fuck no. I'm on to y'all's bullshit anyways. Project Blue Beam and all that. I'll holler at y'all a little bit later.